last week on Poppyoxymoron.
We're fucking stressed.
Big Mac with a view of the ocean.
Coming up next on Poppyoxymoron.
Test, I was feeling like.
Well, then Poppy, just wait, Poppy, please, just wait an hour. I'll only be like an hour and an hour.
Whoa! I'm looking at the rock pools now. I can see fish. I might try and get some footage on my GoPro. I have to be careful because there's a lot of road waves and they come in. Wow, it's amazing. Literally a few seconds ago it was all clear and then you just get these like random road waves that come through. I'm trying to be quite mindful of the fact that I think people want to be quite quiet here because it's quite a peaceful retreat. It feels like I'm a bit too close for comfort now to all these waves. Oh my god, so many crabs, so many crabs. Oh my god. So these are the crabs that I really like. They're huge. I think these ones are edible and they're native to the Canaries. I managed to get some footage of it underwater, but they are pretty incredible, I'd say. And for me, I think wildlife is like one of my favourite things. So seeing this is pretty much a highlight. I had not seen Mount TT. I think that it makes me feel a bit weird to know that the locals kind of hate us here. And also I think that then like I think Tenerife probably gets fucked over because the flights here are so cheap, it's probably poorer people who come here, which then means that those poorer people who come here then don't spend money at local places and instead they only ever like contribute to like Mercadona or Lidl or Aldi. And so it's actually only the like big corporations that are benefiting from the tourism. And then the local people aren't as much. Now I just want to find some lizards, but I should probably head back to the house. Whoa! Whoa! So Elden, what round of treatment are you on now? Is this your 5th? 5. How does it feel? I'm hoping to leave on Sunday, fingers crossed. I actually love fish so much. I think, I was talking to Jake about this, my favourite animals, I love fish, octopuses and lizards and snakes, and there's like no real like ranking to it. I just love all those animals. Jake, when do you think can I go out for a walk?
Wait until I get back and then we'll Well, no, Poppy, just wait, Poppy, please, just wait an hour. I'll only be like an hour and 15 or something, and then we'll have a chat about it then, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, and we can go out for another walk together.
Adios.
As soon as Jake and Elden left, I decided that I would make myself look pretty. I wanted to put on all my favourite jewellery, do my makeup, and feel beautiful for the first time on holiday.
Quite expensive.
However, I didn't have peace for long because Jake unfortunately was still feeling under the weather with his sickness, and he ended up having to abort taking Elden to the hospital, and he walked back whilst Elden drove himself. Jake was feeling really glum, and I really wanted to go for a walk, so I was trying to gently encourage him to get outside and get some fresh air. He was also very insistent that we go up the mountain tomorrow so that we could test out my reaction to elevation.
We just assume that I don't have that up.
But it's hard to, so it's very hard, it's like when me and Elden were talking about, it's very hard to...
I'm just really, really scared of going on a flight and having to do an emergency land.
Yeah, so we need to make sure that doesn't happen, which is why we need to take you up to altitude tomorrow, even though it's a bit of a funny thing to do, because we have to... I know you are.
And we ended up talking for a while about whether my symptoms were from the DCI or from stress or anxiety. In the end, we decided to go for a walk and look around the local area. We had a chat about what we think makes tourism sustainable.
Jake and I are just talking about ways that we can offset the kind of damaging aspects of tourism.
I think there's a fundamental point as well, though, it's just that, like, all islands and coastline in Europe are too full of tourists.
Yeah,
There's kind of nothing one can do about that.
And then I also think, like, there is benefit to tourism. It means that then people gain more experiences, which then makes them care about things more, which then makes issues more, prevalent.
I think Tenerife as an island has gone beyond all benefit.
Yeah.
We spoke about how is there actually any benefit to tourism and whether Tenerife is still getting benefit or if it perhaps has gone too far. I also acknowledged an uncomfortable truth that it's pretty humiliating to go through the health service and not be able to speak the language. And we agreed that if we ever go abroad again, we should at least be able to hold a conversation in the language of whatever country we go to. I was quite content as we saw quite a lot of lizards, and Jake even let me walk out onto the rocks.
This would be amazing for snorkeling.
Yeah. The only other thing is, if you wanted to go somewhere that...
I was getting a bit frustrated at not being allowed to go in the water and not being allowed to have fun. So eventually I turned on Jake and got him to promise that we would come back to Tenerife for a proper holiday where I could go and explore.
Jake, I need you to make me a promise because I'm not allowed to go in the sea and I like the look of the sea at the moment, okay?
Yeah.
You have to promise me that next year, for your birthday, we come here for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I promise.
2 weeks, and that I get to go in the sea.
Yeah, I promise.
And up the mountain.
Yes.
And you will not be telling me no.
No, because there won't be a reason to tell you no. Will there?
You heard it here first, folks. He's taking me back. Okay, I'll go see lizards now.
Eventually we walked along the coast until we found a spot where I could go for a little dip. I paddled in the water photographing fish and Jake stayed on the shore, but he happily warned me if a rogue wave was heading my way. When we were walking back, we spotted one of the famous Gallotia gallotti, which is this beautiful huge lizard that has this really striking blue colour on it. It was beautiful and I managed to get quite close to get some footage, which made me quite happy. Jake returned to the accommodation and I stayed out to wait for Elden.
I can't see Elden anywhere. I can hear lizards. So I'm gonna keep looking for them.
So that I could let him back into the apartment. Once Elden arrived back, we headed into the apartment and Jake took the car to go and pick up Elden's mum from the airport as she was coming out to stay with Elden over the next few days. Back in the apartment, Elden and I decided to scan documents for our insurance and sort out a bunch of paperwork, which is boring but highly necessary. Elden decided to call up his dad, and I sat scanning paperwork quietly at the kitchen table. When Jake returned from the hospital, we had a chat as a group, and we decided that maybe it would be good to test me at elevation tonight. This is a real custom. Jake, can you not turn that on yet? Okay. So we are going to drive up the hill, and we're going to see if I have any rashes or tingling in my feet or anything.
Any growth in symptoms.
Any growth in symptoms, because basically Elden and I have been going through the medical stuff, and it looks as though their understanding of like my condition and my symptoms isn't particularly accurate. So it could be that maybe I actually did need treatment and I haven't received it because my symptoms haven't been described accurately. Therefore, we're going to do this experiment. So we got in the car and decided to go for a drive. Now, before the drive up to elevation, I tried to calm myself down. I was quite nervous and I really didn't want to skew with the results. We decided that I would have my eyes closed the whole time and that I wouldn't be aware of what elevation we were at. This was to try and prevent any placebo effects.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll talk about all
so now it's my meditation, and then I'll come back and hopefully I have no symptoms, so we'll find out. So as we got higher, I started to feel more and more sick, and then my stomach was really swollen by the time it was done. After the drive, I was feeling quite pensive and I decided to go for a walk. I'm aware that being autistic, I feel things quite deeply, and I'm also aware that DCI has such a wide range of symptoms, and it was really difficult for me to be able to distinguish between my anxiety, my autism, the DCI, stress. I just wanted to feel calm, and I just wanted my routine. I wanted my body to feel like my body again, but I also wanted to make sure that if I needed medical help, I was going to get it. I walked along the beach and watched as the waves crashed on the shore. In the hedge, I spotted some cats sleeping, basking in the light of the sunset. They were so relaxed, so content, with orange flowers surrounding them. And as I walked back to the accommodation, I looked down at the beach and saw that there was a group of people doing yoga, facing the sea. I breathed in the salt air and tried to calm my nerves. I really just wanted to feel calm and better. I've just been out for a mental health walk, and you can see people doing yoga, and there are all these cats, and it's a really beautiful place, and today feels like the first day of an actual holiday for me, but I think I'm just anxious because a lot of the symptoms of decompression sickness that I've experienced at the very least could just be so easily chalked up to anxiety, and I'm an incredibly anxious person, so how do I know I'm not just anxious? And so, as the sun began to set and the day came to a close, we sat around the kitchen table and made a plan. Tomorrow, Saturday, we'd go back to hospital. Hopefully, they could run some tests and reassure me that it was just stress, and clear me to fly home on Sunday. But there was still that lingering fear that if anything seemed off, I might have to go back in the chamber. The thought of going in there alone absolutely terrified me. Elden kept trying to reassure me. He said that if I did need more treatment, it would probably be Monday, so I should be okay. But the next morning, as the sun rose, so did the anxiety. It sat heavy in my stomach. I tried to go outside for some fresh air, but the rain was relentless, pouring down, cold and grey. It didn't feel comforting, it just felt heavy. So instead, I stayed inside, and I waited. I forced myself to eat some breakfast, and eventually, Jake and I set off, driving back up towards the hospital. What happened next needs a bit of explaining. As we gained elevation, I started to feel worse again, but not as bad as before, but something still wasn't right. By the time that we reached the highest point, I became really disorientated, and there was a brief moment where I felt completely confused, and I have a massive blank moment in my brain. I really don't fully remember it. When we arrived at the hospital, everything moved quickly. They told me to strip down, put me on a bed, hook me up to IVs, running tests, had my blood pressure monitored, and electrodes stuck all over me. I kept insisting that I was fine, that I didn't need this, that I just wanted to go home. I also told them that if I needed the chamber, please can I do it on Monday with my friend? I just didn't want to be there alone. A doctor came in to speak to me. He told me that he was going to consult with the team, but he was fairly certain that I would need to go into the chamber today. And then he left, and I was on my own, and that's when it hit me. I just started crying. I couldn't calm my body down. My heart was racing uncontrollably. I remember staring at the monitor, trying to will it to slow down, watching my heart rate and watching my blood pressure climb. It wasn't until later that I realised that I was actually in stage 2 hypertension. I was that stressed. Eventually, the doctor came back, and everything changed. He told me the team had reviewed my case, and I wouldn't need to go back into the chamber. Instead, I could go home and follow up my doctors there. And most importantly, I just needed to relax. He told me I was cleared to fly, cleared to go back up to elevation. And the relief I felt in that moment, it was overwhelming.
We went in to the hospital, they looked me over, did a bunch of tests, and they were like, they think it's just stress
And residual symptoms.
which is really...
It wasn't just pure relief. It was mixed with exhaustion, with anxiety, because it felt like this ordeal had stretched on for days, even though it hadn't really been that long. Jake suggested that we make the most of it, to get out, to actually see the island. So we went for a drive. And as we climbed up the mountain, I noticed something. I wasn't feeling as sick. I think that being told I was okay, that I could go home, finally allowed my body to calm down. And for the first time since everything happened, I felt something else. Excitement. I was finally seeing the island and actually experiencing it. But more than anything, I was just holding on to one thought. I can finally go home. Even though I wasn't wearing any makeup, and none of the outfits that I planned for hiking ever even made an appearance, and my phone was so full I could barely capture any of it, I looked happy. And more importantly, I felt happy. Because for the first time, I could actually see the island I'd felt trapped on for so long. I could feel the breeze on my face, the sun on my skin, and I could breathe it in. The air, the space, the freedom. I could touch the ground beneath me and just be there. Even though I still had symptoms, there was something incredible about being outside again, exploring without the constant fear that I'd end up back in hospital. But it wasn't simple, because it also meant leaving Elden behind. As Jake and I boarded the flight, I felt completely torn. On the one hand, I was going home. On the other, I was leaving my best friend behind, undergoing hospital treatment, in a country that no longer felt safe. I knew that once I got home, there wouldn't be much time to process any of it. There'd be calls to make, work to catch up on, doctors' follow-ups, reality waiting. But underneath all of that, I knew one thing for certain. This experience, this chapter, was something that I would carry with me forever. So I've just found the birthday card that Angus
And then if you
wrote
and
for
then
me,
if it hasn't come out,
and
then
I
I'll
haven't
do it,
opened it.
if that makes sense. And then I'll ping you a
Wait for them
message
to
and get the
stop.
cost.
Stop yapping.
But I think it has. Good on feel. Like really.
Can I please finish reading this card? Thank you. Right, so Angus's birthday card to me has said, "Dear Poppy,
Sorry, I kissed Jake in McDonald's. Oh.
You arsehole. Okay. Dear Poppy, happy birthday to my favourite Slay Queen. I am sorry I wasn't able to celebrate with you in February. I hope it was absolutely lit," with then like a little fire emoji. And then he said, "Me and Dad tried to make a cake, but we accidentally set another petrol canister on fire and now the garden is completely burnt. Still, it's worth it though for you, bestie." And then put a crown emoji. And he said, "Lots of love, Angus." And he put, "P.S. I've had a great time in Tenerife and I can't wait for our next trip to Ibiza," with like a picture of some like man with like a bowl cut and like sunglasses. And he said, "I'm sorry about the compression sickness, but knowing you, you'll burst out of that bubble in no time," with a star.
That's quite sweet.
He's so cute. I love Angus.
That's sweet.
And looking at his little vlogs this morning was so
Say on the
nice.
front. So we set fire to the garden instead.
Very good.
So I feel like if Angus had been here, we would have been able to do the Molotov cocktail.